Okay. Oh, so. um, First video for this is a video called "Loose" by an artist named Victoria Williams. This is the album. It came out about 1993, and it's pretty interesting. This is what she looks like, and this is a pretty cooler picture of her in there. I like that picture. Anyway, it's a cool album. I like this woman. I remember when this came out. It was in the early '90s, and there was a lot of talk. She was the first artist I ever heard of that had MS, or she got MS, and there was a lot of people were doing um, benefit. They did a benefit album for her to pay for her health insurance and all that because, as artists, they don't get health insurance, and it's, I guess, quite well. It's quite costly to have a disease like that. So she, yeah. So there's a song on this album called "Crazy Mary," a great song that Pearl Jam covered. And, I don't like their cover. I like hers better. But anyway, this is a. I always wanted to hear her because I remember. I just remember her from back then. I just remember lots of people talking about her, and I just wanted to hear what she sounded like, and I finally did. And I really like this album a lot. Actually, I was surprised. She's very singer-songwriter, and but not in an annoying folk way. She's very like she's just she has very interesting voice. She's definitely a lot less commercial than say like a Alanis Morissette or something. She's very like she has kind of like a child, like a kid, child, an interesting childlike voice, and her instrumentation is really interesting because she'll go from very straight folky kind of stuff to big bands, and she'll have violins and cellos and every so it's different. It's all lots of different different styles, and it's kind of very honky tonk, but it's very a lot of styles of music, and it fluctuates. It goes from very minimal with her an acoustic guitar, and she's got a really charming voice, and then all of a sudden the next track will have like a shitload of like big band stuff, So it's good. I really like this woman. Her name is Victoria Williams. The album's called Loose. Came out about '93. This was in the cutout bin. I'm glad I finally got to hear her, and I was very happy I did because I thought she was very good. So that goes there. And this is see okay. We all know that the music business is dead or dying a slow death. Um, you know, I mean, lots of major bands and artists put out albums and nobody even knows. Like, Beastie Boys have an album out. Chili Peppers has a no album out. Um, Prince, Lenny Kravitz, and lots of major artists have albums out and nobody knows because there is no rock, no such thing as rock radio, and there's no sort of there's no rock radio. All of this is hip hop and Disney, so it's sad. Another casualty of this is this amazing album, and I can't stress that enough. It's called Necessary Evil by Deborah Harry, and if you do not know who Deborah Harry is, you're dumb. And I'll let you know. Deborah Harry is the singer for Blondie. This is her third solo album. This is an awesome solo album. It's a great solo album. It's a lot like the last Blondie album, Curse of Blondie. But there's also a lot of songs that go really early, like they're Plastic Letters period, like the mid '70s Blondie period, where they were more punky. Anyway, but it's a really fun album. Yeah, I mean, it's a really good album. It's a solid album. I love Debbie Harry. I love Deborah Harry's voice. I love her voice. It's sexy and it's tough, and she's just you don't fuck with Deborah Harry. I got to meet her once, and oh my god, I spent almost all my time just staring into her eyes because she's just one of the most exquisitely beautiful people Exactly, that's it. And so it's so incredible. I just can't get over. I've had a crush on Deborah Harry since I was like 12. And I have so many goofy stories about how when I was like, God, even earlier when I was in elementary school, I remember in sixth grade I drew the cover of Parallel Lines for an art project. I'm such a geek, but and I'm a big Blondie fan. I've always been a Blondie fan, and I love Deborah Harry and her. I haven't heard her other solo albums. I've heard tracks off the first two solo albums, and they were really kind of dumb. I just didn't like them. And this solo album is really, really good. It's really down and dirty, and it kind of, but there's like some nice, more jazzier songs that are more current, and then there's also sort of nods to her punk days where she was like doing like little like Ripper to Shreds and things like that. It's a really great solo album. So Necessary Evil, Deborah Harry. I got this in the car bin. The reason why I brought up all that mess about the fact that nobody knows anything that's going about music is because I didn't know this came out. Nobody else knew this came out. It wound up in the cow bin because of it, and this album really should get a lot of airplay, but there's no place to play it. So I'm glad I found it. So there you go. In the cutout bin. It's a great album. This next album is a band called Sounds Like Violence. This is the CD. Sounds Like Violence. The album is called The Pistol. It came out last year, and there's 6 songs, so I think it's an EP because it's 6 songs. And I will say as much as I can say about them. They suck. That's it. Boring. They suck. After hearing these 2 albums that are very inspiring, where both Deborah Harry and Victoria Williams play with different styles of music and experiment with different kinds of sounds and everything, to hear like a 3-piece uninspired rock band do 1, 2, 3, 4, it's just lazy and crap. Unlike Debbie.